All right, let's pull this one from the archives. It's an old one. Case study file number 400 alpha, the orb of volition.
You open the file, and the first thing you see is this single, stark line. It's like a mission statement for the whole investigation. Some stars don't guide you. They are forged. Right away, you know we're not talking about destiny here. We're talking about creation.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics. Section 1, a new light arrives. The subject of this file is, well, they call him an uncanny wanderer, and he doesn't show up alone. He's got this 6-foot orb of shifting radiance with him. And believe me, this thing isn't just an accessory. It's the whole mystery. And the file gives us a crucial definition right off the bat. This orb, it's not a star. Not in the way we think of one. It's not some distant, burning sun. No, it's described as an organic, aggressive force. It's the physical form of what the file calls the will to power. Basically, a self-generated reality you can see and feel.
Now, this comparison here really spells it out. On one side, you've got the old star. That's the light of societal perfection. It's so blindingly bright, it actually makes people put up walls. This psychological armor. It keeps you chained to these celestial ghosts. But then you look at the new orb. It's a whole different game. It's a self-generated reality. Its light isn't blinding. It shifts and radiates. And because of that, it just bypasses those defenses. It's pure will made visible.
So you're probably wondering, okay, how does this thing actually work? Well, its method is just as strange as it looks. Which brings us to Section 2, the geometry of the grotesque. And the big idea here is that truth isn't some arrow you can shoot in a straight line, it's a redirected force. It all breaks down into a 3-step process. So, step 1, the mind, being conditioned by society and all, automatically puts up its shields, that psychological armor, the second it senses a hard truth coming. So, step 2, the orb's light doesn't even try to smash through that wall. Nah, it's smarter than that. It bends around it, almost like light refracting. And that leads us to the final step. This redirected light shines on everything that was hiding behind those walls, what the file calls the shadow self. So what is it that these shifting colors actually show? Well, it's not random. Each color targets something we've buried. It reveals the not-self flesh. In other words, the fake persona we wear for everyone else. It uncovers ignoble knowledge, all those uncomfortable truths about ourselves we'd rather not admit. It shines a light on the internal rot that comes from living in a society obsessed with performance. And finally, it makes us stare directly into the unhomely reality of it all. The raw, unfiltered truth of being alive without any of our comforting illusions. Okay, this all raises a huge question. Where in the world does this orb get its power? Section 3, the lion's inner fire, has our answer. And it's a big one. The power source is fueled by struggle, not by grace. This thing wasn't a gift from the heavens. It was forged in fire. And it all comes down to this simple, ridiculously powerful command, the mantra of the lion. I will it. That's not a wish. It's not a hope. It's a command. That's the engine. That's what makes the orb burn. And let's be really clear what we're talking about here. The file calls this the internal fire of mastery. It's proof that what's truly holy, you don't find it in quiet cathedrals. You find it in what some thinkers call a Dionysian rupture, this chaotic, creative, even violent explosion of energy that just shatters all your old certainties. It's an earthly power, a disruptive power, not some quiet, heavenly thing. Man, I love this metaphor from the file. The orb's power is like a vine that does not pray for rain, but fights to reach the light. See, it's not passive. It doesn't sit around waiting for help to come from somewhere else. Its energy comes from the fight itself, from what the file calls the grit of reality. Okay, just when you think you've got a handle on this, a new player enters the scene. Section 4, the shadow's ascent. And the guide on this next part of the journey? It's not an angel, not a star. It's the wanderer's own shadow, and its purpose is to lead him on a descent into himself, so that he can, paradoxically, strike through heaven. This is the key concept right here, the inverted journey. It completely flips the script. It's not about climbing some golden staircase to the sky. It's about a descent, a deep dive into what the file calls the glorious earthly dark of the self. And somehow, by going down into all that darkness, the spirit transforms into lightning, You have to go down to go up. And that contrast is everything. The old way, the golden compass, it always pointed up. It pointed towards some silent, external judge in the sky, always seeking approval from outside. But the shadow? It guides with a fidelity to the earth. It grounds the wanderer, right here, right now, in this reality, not some promise of the afterlife. So all of this, the orb, the descent, the shadow, it's all been leading to the climax of this case file. Section 5, Sovereign of the Soil. The transformation is finally complete, and it marks the death of an old identity, the death of the stargazer.
So here's how it happened. Then, the subject was a stargazer, always looking up, always searching for light somewhere else. The path to get from there to here was, well, it was brutal. Through it the file calls the lion's wrath and 10,000 hells of his own lies. But now he's become the sovereign of the soil, a self-propelled wheel of pure becoming. He makes his own momentum. He is his own light.
And this is maybe the most crucial thing to understand. The orb is not here to make you feel good. It offers zero metaphysical comfort. Its whole purpose is to provide the necessary discomfort, the friction, the heat that you need to keep your soul awake and paying attention, grounded in the iron of existence. It's the difference between a warm blanket and a blacksmith's forge.
Which brings us to the final section, the final stamp on the file, the Holy Fool's victory. And the verdict? Case closed. We've witnessed a master who has finally and completely claimed the earth. The investigator's final note says it all. This is a victory over metaphysical escapism. It's a flat-out rejection of looking for answers in the beyond. Instead, it's about focusing on the dark soil right here beneath our feet, because that's where the future is actually grown. All the Wanderer's power comes from his absolute commitment to this world, not from trying to escape to another one. And so, the case file closes, but as the investigator stamps it shut, it leaves us with one final, haunting question, a question that turns this whole investigation back on us. When the heavens are silent, when there are no guiding stars left to follow, what will you command the earth to become?